Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to How to Lay a Solid Job Search Foundation Before You Graduate. You are listening to this webinar to learn about the 3 fundamental steps that must be carried out to build a foundation for a successful job search. And since I believe most of you wish to be employed in a job you really want as soon as possible after graduation, I'm sure you're excited to learn more. My name is Lee Gamlin. I help people cut their job search time in half. I've practiced my profession for nearly 30 years now, and I've helped literally thousands of people design successful job search strategies by developing and facilitating innovative programs at career schools and colleges, public and private agencies, as well as for private clients. Let's get right to the subject. Now, obviously you can take notes if you choose, but I'd prefer if you just sit back for the next 20 minutes and focus on what's being presented. At the end of the webinar, I'll give you a link to download the transcript of this session so you won't miss anything. And of course, you may listen to this webinar as often as you choose. What exactly does it take to find the right job? How long will it take? How can you make it happen faster? Finding the answers to these questions may not be as hard as you think. In this webinar, you will learn why some struggle in their job search, what does and doesn't work to find jobs, and 3 techniques to eliminate roadblocks, find the right opportunities, and land the job you want in half the time it usually takes. The secret to finding a job in half the time it usually takes, or less, is not hidden in a new use of technology, an innovative approach to interviewing, or paying for a service that blasts your resumes out to thousands of recruiters or employers. The real secret lies within you. If you are prepared to commit yourself to working a simple and consistent approach to finding a job, then you are already on your way. And there's no better time to start than way before you graduate. If you know graduates looking for a job but are unsuccessful, I'm sure you have heard one or all the reasons on this slide. I don't know where to start. Finding the right job seems like an overwhelming task to many. There are either too many job listings to sort through, or a person can't find any opportunities that seem to fit. They make a few stabs at job hunting, but they get nowhere. Interviews aren't coming their way. Nobody is calling them back, so they end up feeling frustrated and do little else. There are too many things to do. They realize they need to increase their network, but think their resume isn't good enough, so they work on that. They know that contacting potential hiring managers is important, but it's easier to look at the help wanted ads in the newspaper or go to the internet job boards. They question whether all their time spent in informational interviews will ever be worth it. They don't have a way of prioritizing their job search activities and manage their time. It's difficult to stay motivated. They may know exactly what they need to do, but avoid doing it. It's much easier to surf the internet or watch the television than to spend hours researching companies that can use their skills or finding the right person who can lead them to a great job opportunity. They've gone weeks or months with few interviews and no job offers. When they get a rejection letter or no response from companies they've contacted, they take it personally. It's easy to blame the economy, lack of job openings, their school career center, or the time of year. You don't want any or all of these obstacles to stop you in your tracks. That's why starting now, way before you graduate, is so important. Job seekers rarely fail because there are no job opportunities. More often they fail because of 3 fatal mistakes. They don't have a clear picture of what they want, they don't have a strong network, and they don't have a plan. I am about to show you exactly how to overcome all these obstacles and put your job search on the fast track once you graduate. Here are the 3 fundamental steps to cutting your job search time in half. Know what you want, build a powerful network, and develop an action plan. If you don't yet know what you want to do, it will be almost impossible for you to know where to look for it. There are thousands of jobs posted on the internet and listed in the want ads on any given day. How can you sort through all those listings to find the right position if you don't have a reference point? As you'll discover here, we believe that a strong network is one of the keys to finding a job quickly. But your network can't help you if you can't tell them what you are looking for. Once you do manage to get an interview, how are you going to convince an employer you are the right person for the job if you don't know yourself what you want? The first stage of a successful job search is to define the type of jobs for which you are looking. In creating that definition, you are determining which positions, organizations, and industries match your unique and marketable skills and fit with your personal vision for your career. Just as when a company targets the market that is best suited for its products or services, you must make choices also about where your skills, abilities, and desires will fit best. That will enable you to market yourself actively as a job seeker. To determine exactly what job you want, you'll need to use a combination of 3 different methods: getting to know yourself better, gathering more information about industries and jobs, and finding out what others think about where you fit. The key is to employ these methods well before you graduate. This will put you way ahead of the curve once you do. A successful job search is more like a marketing campaign that reaches out to many potential buyers than it is a search for something that already exists. In this marketing campaign, you are the product. If a product or service has the right features, benefits the customer, can demonstrate value, and is available at the right price, it is considered marketable and will sell. And choosing the right job to pursue now, you must consider how marketable are your skills to prospective employers and their hiring managers. Start by creating a skills inventory. Your marketable skills consist of both functional and unique skills. Functional skills are essential for handling the basic functions of the position and performing adequately. Unique skills are exceptional abilities that others in your field may not have or haven't perfected as well as you. Another tool for getting to know yourself is a career assessment, a personalized survey of you. As with a survey, an assessment consists of a series of carefully crafted questions spanning a wide range of topics. Its purpose is to produce an appraisal of who you are, what you are good at, and what you want. I believe this is one of the most important activities you can undertake to develop a clear vision for future career success. I suggest you contact your Career Center for appropriate testing, or look at Johnson O'Connor Research Foundation or other private organizations. When you learn more about various industries, companies, and positions, you can begin to see which ones match up with your skills and fit into your career vision. You may need to conduct industry research. Being new to the job market, research will help you learn what an industry is about and whether it could be right for you. A good place to begin your industry research is the Occupational Outlook Handbook, published by the U.S. Department of Labor, Bureau of Labor Statistics, and Industries at a Glance, also published by the U.S. Department of Labor. Another great place to start your research is at your local library or your career center. There you'll find extensive collections of reference books, guides, directories, and other sources about most industries. You can further expand your industry research through sources such as trade journals, professional association newsletters, business periodicals, company annual reports and websites, books written about or by industry leaders, and local or national newspapers. A highly effective method for learning what job might be right for you is through conducting informational interviews. Informational interview is like what journalists do to get information for articles they're writing. You learn more about a company or industry in a non-threatening setting. You set up meetings like these not to interview for a job, but rather to explore your interview subject's industry, company, and opinions on the marketplace. With informational interviews, you can ask knowledgeable people to help you determine what job you should be pursuing. You'll find that getting people to spend a short time with you to talk about what they do is much easier than getting a job interview, especially while you're a student. Ask for informational interviews with successful people in your industry, officers of professional associations, or alumni from your school. Many people are willing to help you if you approach them respectfully. Now, I know this seems like a lot of work, and it is. But the effort will pay big dividends towards cutting your job search time in half once you graduate. Though the economy is improving, a third of those still looking for work have been jobless for more than 6 months. So cutting that time in half can mean huge savings in time and money. So put in the effort now and do the research. Finding a job is all about people. It's the people you know, people you meet, and people you locate who have information who will inevitably help you get a job. Sending out your resume to hundreds of companies won't work. Neither will be sitting by the telephone waiting for it to ring. You must find and connect with the people who will ultimately pave your way to getting hired. And the best time to start is now, well before you graduate, because it takes time to build solid relationships with those who may be able to help you in your job search. Finding the right opportunities, getting a company to invite you in for an interview, and then having to compete with so many other candidates for the same job appears to be a daunting task. So how do job seekers find open positions and eventually get hired? Ask any successful job seeker that question, and here is what you'll hear. My network, referrals, a lead from someone inside the company, word of mouth, and contacting people. Networking is the process of developing relationships with people who can help you get a job opportunity. When you follow up with the people you meet, whether in person or through social media sites, you begin building relationships, and this takes time. Your network is a community from which you find out about open positions, companies needing your skills, and influential people who can facilitate your job search. You are creating a word-of-mouth system that will feed information and referrals to you constantly. Building your network requires spending time actively pursuing connections with people who can lead you to great job opportunities. Traditional networking, or old school activities, including attending networking events, coffee and lunch meetings, personal calls and letters, working as a volunteer, serving on committees, participating in an online community, attending sporting and cultural events, participating in job clubs, contacting alumni of your school, contacting professional associations, reading the trade press, writing articles in your field, and public speaking in your industry or community. While some of these activities still have merit, the fastest growing method of networking is submitting your profile to social media websites such as LinkedIn. LinkedIn is an insanely useful tool for every working person, not to mention every job seeker and student. The only unfortunate thing about LinkedIn as a job search tool is that most of what's powerful about LinkedIn as a job search tool is not obvious to the casual LinkedIn user. I suggest you pick up a copy of Jason Alba's book, I'm on LinkedIn Now What, at your earliest opportunity to learn how to use LinkedIn effectively to start building the right connections. Louise Fletcher's book, The Blue Sky Guide to LinkedIn, is also an excellent source of information, and one of my favorites is Steve Dalton's book, The 2-Hour Job Search, Using Technology to Get the Right Job Faster. Steve Dalton is the Senior Career Consultant and Associate Director at Duke University's Farquhar School of Business. His book targets graduate students, but his chapter on informational interviewing is excellent and will apply to most job seekers using LinkedIn to build a solid network. Regardless of what method you choose, an important question to ask yourself before joining a group or submitting your profile to a social media site is, would successful people in your industry join similar groups or have their personal profile and company information listed at a social media site? Remember, if you don't follow up with the people you meet in person or through your social media contacts, you are wasting your time in meeting or connecting with them. It is simply untrue that someone will call you when they have a lead for you. The truth is that if they've only met you once or connected with you without follow-up, they probably won't remember you. Marketing yourself as a job seeker means telling the right people what type of job you are seeking over and over again. All too often, networking is thought as a process of bouncing around a room and meeting everybody you can in record time, or connecting with hundreds of people on social media sites. Unfortunately, this negative image has discouraged people who need to develop a network to succeed. Instead of focusing on having many first meetings as possible or connecting with as many people as possible on social media sites, concentrate on developing relationships. People are the most precious resources you have in finding the job you want. The third and most important element in cutting your job search time in half is to design and implement a specific, organized action plan. Without a plan, you will find yourself acting haphazardly and wasting valuable time. For your plan to work, it must include several key components. Job search approaches. These are the 2 or 3 overall strategies you plan to use in looking for a job during the time you are looking for a job you really want. Finding job opportunity takes a disciplined approach using strategies that are proven to work. Here are 6 different approaches you might consider to conduct your job search as a marketing campaign nearing the time of your graduation. Here they are, listed in order of effectiveness: networking and referral building, contacting potential employers directly, informational interviewing, employing recruiters and agencies, searching specialized job listings, and using internet job boards and help wanted ads. Instead of trying to use all 6 approaches at once, we suggest you limit yourself to only 2 or 3. It's almost impossible for one person to use all these strategies at once successfully. So it's better to choose just a few. That way you will have the time and energy to follow through on each activity instead of scattering your efforts with too many ideas. When do you start this process? As soon as you know what you want, and hopefully no later than 1 year before you graduate. There's an old axiom in time and project management: increased planning time, decreased execution time. And this can't be more true than in preparing your job search. While each person's job search is unique, you may be surprised to learn that the general route every job seeker follows is quite similar. Each job-seeking journey is made up of 5 separate stages: knowing what you want, finding opportunities and contacts, applying to employers, getting interviews, and landing the job. As a student, you will be focusing on the first 2, knowing what you want and finding opportunities and contacts. Once you are managing more than a couple dozen contacts, a computer-based system becomes necessary. You may be surprised how quickly you can accumulate a lot of names. A computer-based contact management system will allow you to sort and select contacts by location, source, category, date of last contact, or other helpful information. Other reasons to computerize your list are to automate some of your letter writing and better manage your emails. If you're looking for a more comprehensive approach designed specifically for job seekers, I suggest you explore some of the career management and talent transition platforms such as Jibber-Jobber. In order to cut your job search time in half after graduation, you need to pull 3 elements together now. Start by determining exactly what you want, concentrate on building a strong network, and make a plan that includes job search approaches and taking advantage of technology and social media. Put your plan in writing and post it where you can see it often. Here's your action plan. Complete a skills inventory. In a few moments I'll provide you with a link to a skills inventory form. Second, arrange to take a career assessment with your career center or a private agency. Third, sign up for a free LinkedIn account. Fourth, read Jason Alba's and Steve Dalton's books, I'm on LinkedIn, Now What? And the 2-Hour Job Search. 5, complete your LinkedIn profile. 6, start building your connections. 7, subscribe to Jibber-Jobber. It's free, by the way. And number 8, arrange informational interviews. If you carry out this action plan while a student, you will be well on your way to meet the core challenge of the modern job search, getting referrals. I sincerely hope you found the ideas in this webinar helpful. If you wish to receive a full transcript of this webinar, go to the first link on the slide. And to download the skills inventory, go to the second link on the slide. And I invite you to subscribe to our blog to discover little known and really uncommon material that will enable you to make quantum leaps in your job search success. Best wishes for a very successful job search, and have a great day.